Hey, hello, and welcome to Power Word Play, a Dungeons & Dragons live stream where a bunch of lovely adventurers must protect the Source Coast from the wrath of Tiamat. My name is Josiah Groff, and let's get into tonight's episode. Yeah!
Lady Tiamat whispers, her children fly north. No virtue will stop them. Send the sins forth.
And welcome back. So, to begin tonight's episode, roll for recap will be done by Highest tonight.
It's been like
It has been like three or four sessions
the
on the
last
Highest.
three, I think.
So, besides a natural 20, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Rhaenyra.
Nat 1.
Oh!
boy.
4.
4.
Oh.
8.
14.
Yes!
You wanted a lion.
This is what
I
you wanted.
did.
Yeah.
This is what you wanted.
I thought 8 was going to take it.
I know.
actually.
The dice have listened to me finally.
Oh man, I've been rolling like shit all the last times too. So I was like, oh, it's not gonna happen.
Before you get started, just to mention, Ramsey isn't here today as Darryll had other plans that he needed to go and do, but everything is all good. He will hopefully be back next week.
Yes, boo.
Yeah, I will be playing him apparently, as no one else feels ready yet. So that'll be fun.
Life outside of D&D.
All right, yeah. Crazy.
That's messed
I don't
up.
have that.
My wife's here.
It's in my house.
That's
Literally.
crazy. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I feel like this is Elias's head after hearing the voice of the Lich in his mind. Well, I have always wanted to meet a Lich, but this is not the way that I had thought that it would happen. That's especially worrisome. If there's a Lich in my mind right now, then what else is it hearing from all of us? It's too many thoughts for right now. But, well, Liches are that one thing that you never really do learn much about. It's very taboo. I've always had an interest and, well, trying to find papers on that. Well, good luck. It's not happening. But I mean, this would be the way to do it. I feel like I should probably tell everyone else about what I heard. It's probably the right and the smart thing to do. But I mean, what would they think about that? Actually entertaining the idea of going to go see this Lich. Well, I feel that Ramsey and Eon might be more receptive to this. Solo would just out of the question. It's not happening. Rhaenyra, I'm not so sure about though. She could just want to do it just for the hell of it, but I don't know. I think it's better to just leave that alone for now. I mean, we have to keep our wits about us right now. We're being ambushed left and right. These dragons, well, I have no idea what to expect from that. Surely nothing bad. Surely they'll just be in their cavern, waiting to meet us, and will just join us on our quest and everything will go great. Because that's always how it goes, of course. So many things to worry about. But it'll all turn out fine. It'll be all right. It always does. Maybe.
All right. Thank you, Elias. Take a duck of inspiration.
I like the optimism
Take
of
your
it.
duck.
Take your duck.
Kenzie.
I like it. All right. So, let's hop right back in. Sins, you are inside the Grey Peak Mountains in what you assume to be is the lair of the Golden Circle, 4 adult gold dragons known for their benevolence and willingness to help the people of Faerun deal with many different issues over the last 100 or so years. You entered the entrance, broken through some sort of force, the doorway smashed into pieces, and found yourselves in the entryway, a large kind of circular room carved into the stone, containing many different statues of dragons, some metallic, some chromatic, all of which powerful and deserving of some sort of acclaim here or art. You get maybe more of the vibe. And as you get in further and see further destruction of another door, Sola finds herself locked in a memory of someone else's. As it appears someone else has beat you to a golden circle. So as those words bounce around in your head, Sola, that's where we'll return back.
So Sola lets her friends know, I'm seeing a vision, I think. It's the Meteor Knight and he's talking to the Tempest, and they're both going in right now where I am. This was sometime in the past, I think a week or two ago.
So your armor is just flashing with radiant light, almost like a beacon or a lighthouse that's not constant, but every couple of seconds cycles through, lighting up the room around you and causing the shadows to wind and to grow larger and smaller across these different statues.
And can I see them in front of me? Are they moving forward?
They are.
I basically tell these guys, I have to follow them. I have to see what's going to happen.
Well,
And I would start
be careful.
moving forward.
Sola.
Well, tell us what's happening as you're seeing it. What did they do?
I don't think I know yet. Hold on.
Still playing.
So you would have seen them kind of rip the door off its hinge. Now it's kind of in its resting spot.
Right.
You can't see much more, but you do watch them walk kind of further through, and as they pass the doorway, the vision disappears.
They went through here. I don't know. We need to go after them.
Well, you said that this must have been 1 or 2 weeks ago. What are we really expecting to find down there?
Well, we don't know yet.
We have to know what they were doing.
Yeah, we can't not. I think that Ramsey had passed without a trace on us, as I recall.
Yeah.
I think we need to just go forward.
Carefully.
I'll let you know if I see anything else.
Okay. So marching order is going to be
Solo first.
Solo first.
Yeah.
Who followed?
I think we would say we was gonna do like Sola in the front, and then if Ramsey's in the back,
Sure.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I feel like
Sola
in the middle.
And I feel like I would be behind. I'd want to be behind Sola.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I did gift of alacrity.
Yeah,
You.
I still have that too.
Can I say then maybe like Sola, Rhaenyra,
And a bit like
Elias, Eon,
Eon would be closer
Ramsey?
to Ramsey at the back, probably.
Just-
then.
Just for ease.
Yeah.
Eon, you're also have a point of exhaustion right now. How bad is that for you?
I can't remember what exhaustion does.
Level 1 is
It's minus
disadvantage
2
on
to
ability checks because I was that's what I had.
on all. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I can sense that there's some danger coming, I'm going to greater restoration that off of you.
Ooh, all right, yeah.
With a, I think that's a 5th level spell. So, yeah.
Thank you.
And we proceed with Sola perceiving the heck out of
Okay.
wherever we're going.
Awesome. First, can I get everyone to make a stealth check?
Plus 10, right? Is that
Yeah.
what that was?
You guys are creeping over, and you kind of have to kind of parse the rubble of this doorway that was made of stone and did have these kind of different scaled textures on there, like someone had kind of taken the time to make a really nice depiction of a dragon, a circular long dragon that has been just completely shattered. But yes, stealth checks. Elias,
14.
with the plus 10?
Yep.
Okay, so what?
Dirty 20.
Yeah.
Got a plus 10, right?
Yep.
31.
Okay.
32.
32. Okay,
Sweet.
and Ramsey.
I have expertise and
Oh,
disadvantage.
yeah.
Me too.
It's a fun combo.
I'm a little
Do
bit,
it-
yeah, I
do
added some other
disadvantage
things
too.
where it's like a disadvantage, but then I'm not.
Ramsey also gets a 32.
Cool.
Going right
Just
next.
gotta cover up for me, guys.
Yeah.
So you're
Ramsey at the back.
Yeah. I'll say with that amount of successes, no one makes any audible mistakes. No one kicks a rock that
There are mistakes, but they're not
bounces.
audible. So it's okay.
Yeah. Nothing that echoes through the hallway here. Where you can tell as you're walking down, there used to be little spots where lights turned on. You can see that there's these magical crystals, all of which have been destroyed and shattered. The remnants of these blue crystals on the grounds on either side of the hallway as you continue forward. Can I get everyone to make a perception check? Rhaenyra.
12.
Okay.
14.
27.
27. Okay.
13.
13. Okay. Sola, as you're walking down the hallway here, you notice a few things that maybe the rest of the group doesn't quite check onto. One, at certain points down the hallway, there are little small red spots in the ground. Probably the size of maybe like a beach ball or a soccer ball. Soccer ball probably is more appropriate. That have stained into the stone and in some places the soil.
Huh. Is it like magical in nature?
Yeah. I'm gonna say you don't even need to make an Arcana check. This is definitely magical, and as you're kind of looking around, there is one spot out of these spots that's a little bit darker, more kind of, we'll say, together with the kind of this red marking. And you can tell is actually blood.
Okay.
The other marks dried, but this one fresh to some degree, wet, and then as you're watching, moves ever so slightly.
Okay. So I'm going to point these out to my friends. I think that I can't tell exactly what those are. Those might be traps or something. Everybody, please watch your step. They're moving a little bit, so we need to be careful.
Eon, you know blood. I thought blood doesn't move once it's outside of the body. she wants to touch it.
Does it actually look like blood?
Thicker.
Thicker than blood?
Yeah.
He's smiling.
Yeah, someone done something to this.
In a weird mood.
Are they sentient, or are they just?
How do you want to find out?
Does it have eyes?
No.
Blood.
It's very much like
It seems to be wandering randomly.
No, it's kind of centered in one spot,
Okay.
and then it's kind of like more like a bubble is
Oh, okay.
coming in and up,
Okay.
and then back down at different spots.
Can I go take a look at it?
Yeah. You walk up to it.
I'll just hover my hand over it a little bit and see if it responds at all.
Sure. I'll say make a investigation check.
They're gonna say a saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
23.
The blood is very receptive to your hand reaching out to it. So much so that some of it, you see, begins to withdraw from its puddle in an attempt to float up to you. And just like...
Does this remind me of the blood river? Remember last time you let me touch it?
I don't think that it's a good thing this time. I'm not sure if it was a good thing last time either, but
I don't think. I think it's just a thing. I think it's just what it is. I think it's just the it's just the thing.
how about if it's still here after we see what's a little further? Because we probably have to come back this way. Do you need to touch it? Can you collect it?
Yes.
With like safety gloves or
Would it be
goggles.
smarter to take this little specimen?
Yeah.
Soul's gonna mage hand if we touch it when we're not that close to it with a mage hand. What does it respond like?
when you try and touch it with mage hand, it attacks the mage hand. And you watch as the mage hand is ripped apart by this blood that kind of onto it, and rips apart fingers, especially go flying.
It only likes Eon.
I take one of the gloves off
But
and
it-
I swirl a finger in it.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
I don't think that's Ramsey. I don't know. He's Gordon Ramsey now. You fucking
donkey!
Look how raw it is. It's bloody.
It's raw. Okay, make a con save.
+4.
30.
Okay.
30.
What?
All right.
19 plus 7 plus 4.
That's a success.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
As you touch the blood, there's something that flashes in your head. A figure. Nor. And behind him, you hear hundreds of screams. As he turns and looks. And you flash out.
Yeah, this is Nor's. I wish I could understand how he made this blood so potent.
I think the secret ingredient is evil.
And
Why?
probably real blood.
Take your fucking duck.
I'm because Elias gave me one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You could give Elias one back.
Could I
Continue
actually?
the cycle.
Okay.
in this weird moment, yes, I'll let it happen.
Curious.
I'll
Yay.
let it happen this one time.
Come on,
It's
give
just
it
this
duck.
one.
Yeah.
Give it duck.
Give it a-
I don't give a duck. You don't give a duck either. Why are the Tempests keep showing up in your head, and now your head? That's not
I
good.
think it's the meteor knight that showed up in my head, and they're working together.
Yes, they are.
And I'm just touching Nora's blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not touch again. I don't want
Yeah.
to give them any sign that we are here. Can we get around this thing?
It's
Without
soccer ball
worry?
size.
As you continue onward, they start very small, but as you get a little bit further down this hallway, the blood spots get larger and larger up to what was remained of a door that's been slashed in an X formation with what you can see is some sort of weapons. The X doesn't stop at the door, it actually continues all the way in like an oval around wherever the strikes came from. You can see it slashed all of these crystals now, these long, deep, slashed weapon marks through the cave. However, there is a little bit of space past the door that you can see doesn't have these blood spots. Probably there's only about 10 feet or so in front of you that do. So, if you want to try and long jump, you most certainly can. Some of you have
us
other
can
options.
Fly. I can loan a broom. Fly.
Yeah, I can fly myself.
But I will say, like, these spots closest to the door look concentrated, and they have that same viscosity that Eon.
And those are the ones
Experience.
those are the ones we have to get over
Yes.
or past,
Yes.
basically. Okay.
I don't. No offense, Eon and Elias. Are you guys jumpers? I don't think so.
No, I don't remember the last time I've jumped.
No.
Can any of us?
I don't really have much need to.
Wait,
Generally.
how do you jump?
I mean, I
Jump.
tried.
How do you jump?
Maybe we are like, exceptional at it, and we've just never.
Athleticism?
What level are you guys? No, this is a good puzzle. I like it.
Oh, man.
The broom can carry up to 400 pounds.
Sure can. Yep.
Well, just
Yeah.
if these two are on it,
Very-
is that a thing?
Yeah, it is.
Solo plus one.
It's very easy.
So that's 401.
Gosh.
Yeah,
I didn't hear any of that.
No, you
Just
didn't.
canceled it
You
out.
did not. No.
Yeah.
Okay, he said, DM said, and Sola and Rhaenyra have. Oh, frick! What about Ramsey?
Yeah.
Can Ramsey
Jump?
Oh, man.
Or
No.
old Ramsey
He's-
could jump. Maybe
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
He's dexterous. He could
What do you
do like a cartwheel over
on the
them.
stat block?
Yeah,
That's tough.
he's looking. You could just fly back and forth. It's not a big deal.
Because we're still being
You mean like
quiet,
carry
remember?
Ramsey?
Yes, we are.
We're still
If you want.
Being
Or like the broom, or like
quiet.
Elias flies
Right.
broom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah, like you fly like Eon and then come back for Ramsey, something like that.
Sure.
Okay.
License.
If you want to.
Well, wait. How badly do we care about them not knowing that we're here? Because I feel like you touching the blood is already given that.
You just want to run through and just
No, not that.
Okay.
Although that
I'm
would
like
be
stretching my
interesting.
calves already.
I should also mention Fizzle and Horse are here, unless you guys want them to be
Oh.
outside.
I don't think we want to leave them alone.
Yeah.
But can we bring Horse?
Well,
Yeah, I
let,
don't know if we can bring horse.
Wait,
Horse
hold
let
is
on.
me
good.
try something. And if this doesn't
Okay,
work, then we
you
can
can.
just do our broom
Well, but okay.
idea.
Yeah.
So it's like multiple kind of patches of this, like, or is it just one big stretch of this, like, blood?
So to start off as patches, now there's like a 10-foot long kind of stretch where it is incredibly thick.
Yeah.
And it's it would be hard to find a spot that isn't covered.
Can I try casting Dispel Magic on like a patch of that?
Yeah.
This like big stretch.
Absolutely,
See
you
if it's
may.
able to dispel it.
Yeah.
as the name says.
Okay. So what do we need to do for that?
If it's a spell or something, if it's level 3 or lower, it ends. If it's higher, then I make a roll.
This is technically not a spell,
Yeah,
but it's from
it's
an
not.
entity that I would describe as this effect being level 3 or higher. So I'm going to say
Yeah.
it's a roll.
Yeah, so you can
Um,
set the DC then in that case. The DC would be like 10 plus the spell's level, so whatever you think is like
Equivalent.
a
Sure.
relevant range for
Okay.
power.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just look at something on his sheet. Okay. All right. DC met or DC established.
Okay.
Make a roll.
Let's see. Not 20.
Oh!
Right.
For
That was a
29.
cool spin that it
That was a
dope.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. With a 29, this is so cool. How do you dispel the blood magic in front of you?
I feel like it's some level of like trying to draw the blood up from where it is and like decomposing it in a way where it's like drawing it out in like a thin line up from this pool,
Mhm.
and then just kind of like be gone.
Sick. You guys watch as like this magical kind of pyramid shape begins to appear over the blood pool, rising up only about 5 feet, but it draws up all the essence of it into that middle point before it slowly circles into almost like a small galaxy before floating up and then magically disintegrating.
Oh.
The smell is a little rough.
Well, that's better than I hoped for.
Kind of like
Well done.
burned blood, iron.
And so now is this passable, essentially?
It is. I will
Okay.
say yes.
Okay.
Easily done. Good job, Elias. Yeah, so who are we continuing with the same order?
I think
I think
so.
so, yeah.
Okay. We'll use the same stealth checks from before. Actually, those were pretty bad. Those were
We
they were
Really
fine.
good.
We did
Yeah.
Two.
good.
There's
The
three.
lowest was
3 over 30. 2 that were
Yeah.
kind of mid.
Yeah.
So, we'll say that's fine for right now. I'll make another one for this.
The music is.
Well, continuing, so you guys now are in kind of walking, kind of pushing the remnants of this stone doorway kind of through. As only the top portion of this X has been pushed out, you can see the rest of it kind of left as you push your way through. It's a little heavier, but you're able to do so. I'll say not without any checks or anything, or without any checks or anything. And you find yourselves now in kind of this two-sided room where on one side you can tell there's a little bit of like a reception area. There's like a counter, and along one side you can see it says, today the dwarves of Citadel Adbar. And you can tell that there's maybe like, it's kind of like event lists or meetings, something like that. It's some sort of reception area, and also like kind of like, here's what's going on here today kind of thing.
Itinerary kind of.
Like like an itinerary, but just posted up on kind of this, say like a kind of cork board at the back. So that's kind of like the one side. It has like a few different art pieces along the side as well. Like there's a tapestry that goes around this room where you can see 6 different golden dragons, all of which in some manner of battle. And you can see with creatures like smaller, like demons or devils, you're not quite sure, below them, as well as like larger kind of titanous looking creatures with large horns. You can see 2 of them attacking one of these kind of creatures. And on the floor in the middle, there is a kind of nice glass walkway, and the stained glass they've used shows two sides of a coin, halfway split down the middle, one of a gigantic silver dragon. Surrounded by this kind of golden light backdrop, and one of a 5-headed chromatic dragon. Tiamat. And Bahamut. The other half of the room continues this receptionary vibe, but has more of kind of a sit-down area. See, a lounge with all different types of chairs. I got stuck between types and kinds. That's what happened there.
All times.
Types and times.
Types and times. For all manners of different creatures. You can see there's a fireplace with kind of like heat resistant, we'll say, seating next to it, as well as these large kind of beanbag chairs where kind of you could tell like these are huge. They could probably fit a dragon for sure.
The beanbag
The
chair?
beanbag chairs, yeah.
Can you imagine the amount of beads?
Yeah, like so they don't like explode the second that it sits.
This room itself is probably between 75, 100 feet long. It's a pretty big room that they've kind of excavated out of here. All the walls have this kind of like smooth, kind of sealed finish to them. Almost like they've been sanded down, but you're not entirely sure what process could be responsible for that.
How big was like the hallway and stuff that we were coming from again? Like that we were just in like coming to here?
Yeah, so it's dragon size, so
Okay,
pretty big.
it's
So
pretty big,
15
okay.
feet long is kind of how I describe it.
Oh, okay. How the hell are things getting into here?
Yeah. The Great Peak Mountain's not a small set of mountains, and you can tell that this area has been made so that dragons can comfortably move around in dragon form, which is different.
Sure.
Okay, interesting.
And is there any sign of like people or beings here or recently here, or is there more destruction along the way?
Yeah, there's certainly more destruction in this room, but it's once again very focused on the back of the room, where you can see another doorway lies. However, something does catch your eye. In the middle of the room, kind of in the center of this glass walkway as you're walking, there is a pedestal. And as you get closer towards it, you see it has kind of this blue crystal centered in the middle of it. Catches your eye. It hasn't been touched, it doesn't look like.
Ooh, I'd like to go take a look at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen all kinds of gems. I'd like to examine it without touching it, first of all.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm going to say...
You can do this.
I do also
Very quiet.
have the ability to have, like, jewel crafting tools. If
Yeah.
I could use those in any capacity.
Sure, absolutely. I'll say make an investigation check. I'll say that because you have jewel crafting tools, I'll let you make the check as investigation with your proficiency. So yeah.
Okay.
As is.
Am I able to guide?
Yes, you are.
That was really good.
Guidance.
It's over 30 with
Oh my
guidance.
Woo!
That's crazy.
Love it.
33.
My
Okay.
God.
33 is high.
Okay.
Investigation's my thing.
I love it.
What I
Time
do.
to shine.
It's what I do.
Yeah,
That's what I do, guys.
investigate.
And I'm rolling over a 4, so that helps.
These blue crystals, you can tell that there is some sort of light generator kind of below them. And on the pedestal, there's a button. You get the idea through kind of like looking at it that there's something maybe tied to this crystal that when you press it, something would play or something would project through this light source at the bottom.
All right, let's try that.
All right. You click the button, and appearing about 10 feet up in this kind of blue light that flashes through the crystal and creates the vision of a humanoid shape, a female elf. And as the crystal begins to kind of spin in place, a second image appears as well of a male elf. Both of these elves, even in blue kind of holographic light, are gorgeous individuals. They have this kind of like softness to their features, but still striking in that their eyes appear to be making connections with yours, even though there is this kind of like pre-recordedness to it all. As you all watch, the hologram begins to play and sound begins to play this kind of light jazz music, and you can hear the sound of people talking and chatting as the female elf can be seen dragging the male elf into frame. She goes, "Come now, you can't just ignore this. We all said we had to make a message. You have to be, if you're not going to do your own, you have to be with mine." Now, and you guys see these two begin to do like a small little dance that is awkward in some ways, but you can tell that the lady's having a good time, and after a certain bit the guy kind of like joins in on the fun too. They're both kind of like loosening up at this moment, but afterwards he goes, "Well, welcome to the Golden Circle. Sorry we could not make your acquaintance at the moment. We must be out. My name is Ramalis, and this is Faxadil. We are the Circle's first and foremost communicators, connectors, talkers, planners, eventers.
But they're elves.
All of the usual there in this form.
Elven form.
While we appreciate your, let's say, determination in getting this far while we're not home, take a seat, have a drink, and wait. We'll be home soon." And Vravaxadil just kind of like nods and goes, "Trust me, there's far too much to plan, far too much to arrange to be gone very long. Do as my sister says." And Ramalis kind of waves to the camera before running up to it, and the hologram shuts off.
That is cute.
What is this place? What is going on?
This is
Like, you have a wedding here? Like what?
It's much more done up than I thought it would be.
Seems like their home. That's a very quaint little message, but I'm afraid that it's maybe a little out of date because I'm worried that something bad has happened.
There's another door, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that door also destroyed in some way, or can we see any damage?
This one has been blown forward. So you can tell that this, unlike the other doors, that there was some sort of stone kind of creation fixed to it. This one had kind of like more of a actual doorway system where you can see there's hinges and maybe a little less secure than the other two doors at this point. You can see it's been completely blown away. Further inwards, a remnant of the door is just on its fucking side on the floor. And these are big doors, like 15 foot tall, 10 foot wide.
If we came during better times, I would sit and wait, but I don't think we can wait.
Yes, all signs point to
Is there
continue
anything
on.
else worth looking at in this room, though? Should we just take a look around?
Well, it's a very big room.
Come back later?
I think we could come back later.
Okay.
Sola is going to continue to that door.
Right? Continue onward. As you do, you get to kind of the doorway itself. And looking down, there's a slight decline in the pathway ahead of you. More of these kind of blue crystals that have been placed along the side hallways that have been completely destroyed, so it's dark. But further down, you can see what looks to be some sort of like training area. You can see different weapons on, like kind of like a stand, like a weapon stand, spears, swords, shields, that kind of thing. But that's kind of all you can see down the hallway, right, kind of at the back.
Okay. Well, I mean, Sola is feeling pretty urgent, and so like she'll glance back at everybody to follow, but she's going to continue and go down to there.
No blood pools here?
No.
Okay.
No more of this like damaged, like destroyed walls or doors or anything around, or?
Kind of past this door that's just been blown forward.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the crystals along the sides have been destroyed. The same thing.
But yeah,
For the
nothing
lights,
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going down into this room, there isn't like another door.
Yeah.
at the
It's also
entryway.
broken.
Yeah.
It's doors all
you
the way
get an
down.
idea at the beginning of each room there was a doorway.
Yeah.
And that may have also just been kind of for privacy, as each room down here has like a certain vibe that's different, especially as you walk further down this way. Can I get everybody another stealth check, please?
Ooh. We're still plus 10.
Yeah.
Got a lot of ducks there.
I know I have a lot of ducks. I have a duck back.
Thank you.
I'm not good at this.
Welcome home, friend.
So much better.
Rhaenyra?
Another 32.
Nice.
Wow, 29.
29,
22.
22, and
28.
28. Ramsey's going to get a 15 plus 10, 25. So
Pretty good all around.
pretty good all around, guys. Pretty good all around. Okay. You walk into this area, this arena, actually, you can tell. There is like seating kind of around this circular room, once again larger, and the walls have been kind of rounded out to make space for a small pit in the center of the room. And as you're walking around the corner, this pit that's maybe about like 25, 30 feet wide, you can see there were weapons of all different kinds hanging off the wall in there. Some of them still hanging, but most of them scattered and broken across the ground.
Are they practice weapons or are they real weapons?
They look real. They look real, but nothing, I'll say, magical or too special. You can also see kind of a little bit further into the back of this room, there's a lot more damage. Centered around this small throne of stone, which has this kind of rusted gold kind of streaked throughout it. There are indents in the ground, like little craters, but nothing remained. There are scorch marks, as if somebody had done a burnout with their tire along the ground, but in a slashing formation instead. There are deep cuts within the ground. and holes within the wall. But nothing catches your attention like the stiff head-size claw with golden scales severed and left lying aside the throne.
Like a dragon claw.
We should take
We should take it to return it to
sell
the
it.
person who lost it.
The dead dragon?
I don't think they'll be needing that anymore, Sola.
Well, that's why we have to hurry. Maybe we can save them.
Maybe.
Go ahead and grab it, but I'm continuing. Is there another way through here?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a battle here. The dragons were fighting.
Is there any more blood around this area, or is it just kind of like this claw? Okay, there's a lot of.
Yeah.
Who burned down the claw?
Kind of hard
I
to
can
tell.
put it in the bag, yeah.
Yeah. There's some parts that are like definitely Nora's blood, where it's still like agitated. And then there's also gold blood. These gold liquid markings, especially near their hand.
Is there anything we've seen so far, or anything I can put together that would indicate why do these blood pools pop up? Like, they're not everywhere. Like, is he literally bleeding? Or is this some aspect of his magic? Like, if he's casting a spell,
Yeah.
Maybe like it's a byproduct of it or something.
Is there anything
Yeah.
we've seen that would indicate
Mhm.
that?
Nothing you've seen. So it'd be hard to put a check to this.
Yeah.
You just know it's originating from Nora.
I just don't really understand it. I don't quite know how he makes it. I don't know why it shows up where it does and it doesn't disappear. It's almost like it's distilled, right? Like if you boil a liquid long enough and it kind of gets thicker. You know what I mean?
Like, I hope it came from inside of him and he's bleeding. I mean, what it takes to cut off a golden dragon's claw. I'm with Sola. We need to find out what's going on, but if the golden dragons couldn't defeat the Tempest, I don't know if we can. But we have to see. We have to find out.
Sola thinks that maybe if we hurried, we could save somebody still.
Okay. So
She
you're
will always
rushing
hold on
forward.
to that hope. Yeah, I'm not rushing because we're stealthing.
No,
but
I
I'm
understand.
going to move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
You move forward, getting everyone's attention to follow you, to
Yeah.
bring you on. Elias, however, I should mention as you grab the golden claw,
Yeah.
this thing is heavy, probably about 15, 20 pounds.
Oh, okay.
And as you kind of like reach down, grab it, and like come up next to the throne, you do see there is a similar blue crystal in the back
Like another with a little
of
button.
that stone throne. Yeah.
Uh,
With a button on the back of it.
yeah. We should maybe watch this one too before we. I really want to go,
Okay.
but it could be useful to get some more information before we just go head first into whatever is waiting.
Another message to book your wedding here or something.
Well, I mean, we can come back to it later. It'll still be here, presumably.
Let's see what it is.
We'll play quickly.
Is there a 1.5 speed?
You have to find out.
Well, it's here for 2 times.
Tap and hold.
I'll push the button. Yeah.
You see a spectral hologram image appearing sitting on the throne of a large, probably 6'3", 6'4", burly man. He's kind of got like this long black hair and honestly kind of scrappy clothing. He just says, "I have protected these mountains for centuries. Do not test my patience. Otherwise, the Golden Circle will be quick to serve you justice." Was that good? And you hear another voice from behind him. That was awesome!
That's amazing.
I love their dynamic. It's a
Yeah.
really fun polycule.
They're probably
That's a
all
crazy
dead.
thing to say.
That is
Two of them are
crazy.
siblings. Yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
You forgot that.
You
didn't
went there. You went there. The story.
Actually, I
moved.
kind of assumed they were all siblings. If I'm being honest, this wasn't tracking.
Platonic
Crazy.
polycule.
That's just called a family, you
Friend-
guys.
friend-
Yeah,
They're just a family.
Some people are just family.
They're just siblings.
Moving on.
So, Darryll, what'd you miss? Well, you
Oh shit.
figured out some
Darryll,
stuff
you
in our
joined the
lore.
polycule.
Yeah, we
Volunteered and everything.
Congratulations.
You know,
We should tell them that.
so much more I could have said. Anyway.
Every
alright.
time you leave, you find love.
Yeah.
Oh.
You guys continue forward now. And quickly coming up to the last room. That the door, you can tell, was made out of a clockwork mechanism. An entirely independent system of gears and pulleys, and you can tell that responded to magic. Like there's some pretty intense artificery going on here. If it hadn't been cut in half already and destroyed. And I mean a clean cut right through all that metal.
This must be Zanzachrus's area. They were the inventor.
Mm-hmm.
And as you kind of hop over the remnants of the door here, crunching on the metallic screws and plates of steel that are left over, you do find yourselves in a makeshift laboratory. You can tell that at one point there were beakers and experiments. You can tell that there was more scales of dragons here than there should be, and all different kinds of colors as well. And originally you could tell this room was probably about 30 by 30, relatively pretty small. But it has been widened by the effects of a battle here. Those same meteoric marks, those impacts in the ground are now all across the walls, which have caved in at certain parts and then been blown backwards. Massive chaotic holes where you can tell there was melting of stone from these slashes, like there is kind of that hardened black stone that kind of happens after lava cools. And in the middle of the room, you see a pile of scales and fangs and wings. Four dragons, long dead at this point. Just haphazardly dumped in this pile. A similar mark on each of them, a hole in their chest. Large over the heart, where each dragon now has a missing spot. It's at this moment that Sola, you see that memory jump in again. You hear the sounds of dragons roaring, of swinging weapons, hands raising for magic, and finally laughing. Two of these figures you recognize. One, Meteor Knight, turns to one you assume is Trodo, a hulking figure at around 6'6", a Goliath, with long black marks under his eyes. I think that's the final one. But I wouldn't mind another to really loosen up. These chains you gave me get a little rusted, cursed one, as he looks over to one of these other figures, a spectral ooze that you can tell is Nor. They don't move as quickly as I want them to, but they love feeding on these weak lizards. Meteor Knight turns to him. These ones may have been easy, but they will draw out the metallic council, and those dragons are a different matter. A single one has more power than you. I'm sure you would harm it. I've only killed one myself. And Trodo looks to the Meteor Knight and just goes, if you've killed one, then I don't see why I shouldn't be either. Don't forget how thirsty my blades are for your scarred flesh. Don't forget, your blades are a gift that can be taken. You will find worthy prey soon enough. Cursed one, he turns to Nor. I hear your vice captain was unsuccessful eliminating the sins. Her failure isn't yours, Nor. Do not forget that. Oh, yes. Oh, sure to be punishing her soon. She's just such a frosty individual, that Arissa. I have to find a way to really make it stick. He turns to the two. I'm just going to change this real quick. He turns to the two and just says, it's likely the sins are dragon touched. What? Oh? Correct. But do not underestimate them. And if you find yourself in an advantageous position, kill all but the cleric. And you can see Trodo kind of... First you insult my strength, then you try to order me around. You are a foolish general. I'll kill whoever my blades deem worthy, and you'll deal with it. And Nora goes, well, I'll try. Oh, but the only one I'm concerned with in that group's already dead. So I can't guarantee that I can't, well, make a mistake. At this, Meteor Knight steps forward, and you can see both of them shift. Like, their spectral images fall to the ground. They immediately go prone, as if some sort of pressure has been placed on them. And you can see him raising that hand. What part of that order made it seem like a request? And you see them crunch, like being stuck into a box.
Which ones are crunching? Sorry?
Both of them. Both Nor and
Trodor.
Trodo.
Trodor.
They say something in response, but you can't quite hear it, just curse words. As he lifts his hand and they both kind of... Enough. You will follow orders. If not, there will be more than enough draconians willing to take your power and your place. Continue with your assignments in the Swords Coast, and I will do the same. Shoto, the king requires your presence for your next mission. Return to Che, and then head out as he requires. And as they're both kind of nodding in affirmation and he goes to talk to Nor, he turns and for half a second, it's almost like he sees you. Makes eye contact with you. And as he goes to react, his hand raising, the image in the dream are gone. Your armor,
Do I have any opportunity to do anything?
You can try.
Because, so while I am watching all of this, Sola is like, taking in every detail so that she can relay all of this to her friends. But she's also remembering that, this sort of thing has happened, but in reverse. And in those times, the Meteor Knight has found ways to mess with her, to do things to her during those visions.
Yeah.
And so Sola wants to try to do something while she is in this place too.
Okay, yeah.
And so even though he is locking eyes with Sola, she is going to look down at the pile of dead bodies on the ground. She doesn't know these dragons well, but she might be able to recognize the form of Ramalis, I think.
Yeah. I'll say through observing kind of the artwork located in their rooms that they might have gifts from people of what they would look like in their draconic forms. I'll say that while you may not have seen it directly, there's enough that you can infer.
Sure. In this final instant, as he is looking at Sola, she is going to try to cast a spell.
Okay.
She is going to try to... and I guess I have to touch. Okay. So anyway, I don't know if I'm close enough to do this. We'll find out. She wants to cast Gentle Repose on Ramalis.
Okay.
What happens next?
Okay. So my understanding of this is you're trying to catch General Repose through the dream, so that would affect during this time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll say you do know that Ramalis's body is here.
if not Remalis, then like anything that I could get to in time to do it. But I would try to get Remalis. That would just be who I would choose.
Yeah. Okay, tell you what. Just make a wisdom check, adding your proficiency bonus.
Okay. So that'll be wisdom plus proficiency would be a +8.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 24.
Beats a 20 DC. Yeah, you are able to cast General Repose in this moment, and you can tell it doesn't impact the current Remalis, but impacts through this dream as the as the meteor night turns, causing him to make direct eye contact with you as the spell goes off.
Okay. And then, I mean, that's Sola's action. I don't know if then everything ends and goes away or what happens next, but
I'd say that would probably be at the moment when the vision stops. Yeah.
okay.
Sola,
And
you okay?
Sola locks eyes with Eon for a second, and then looks down at the dead dragons
Mhm.
on the ground.
Yeah.
And will, immediately move over to them, and is going to pull out a 500 gold diamond in her hand, and will immediately cast Raise Dead on Remalis.
She has no heart. Does that matter? That doesn't matter.
It says.
Yeah, she currently does not have a heart.
It
That doesn't matter.
says.
Who needs a heart?
Raise
really?
Dead says.
I don't have one, and I'm alive.
Ooh.
Okay. So okay. So I'm reading it to.
Retcon.
Yeah.
I'm with
Okay.
you. You're good.
Okay. So, okay. It doesn't
Shit.
restore those parts, but, okay. Okay. Maybe I can try something else. Healing doesn't restore parts either.
No, regeneration.
Regeneration would.
Does anybody else
Okay,
have anything?
I'm quickly going to bring everybody up to speed about everything that just happened.
Yeah.
Huge info dump. I was able to gentle repose. This one is Remalis. The only thing I could try is a divine intervention. If that doesn't work, we need to bring someone here who has more power than us. I don't have the ability to put back the pieces of her that are missing that she needs. I can beseech Lethetida to see if she can help, but the chances of that are low. I guess, yeah.
What if? Could you tell us everything you heard?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes, by now.
As you're running around?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned the Metallic Council.
Right. I don't know where they are.
Well, neither do I, but I have a feeling that they would have had some way to contact them in one of these rooms.
I think they're
That's
next
good
on the
thinking.
list. They were mentioned by
it.
the trio that were in here. You mentioned someone who's more powerful than us. Those were the people that did this to them. We've taken down dragons, and we lost somebody once trying to do it. They didn't lose anybody, and there was 3 of them.
They took on 4 dragons all at once.
But they even were scared of this Metallic
The-
Council.
Right, the Metallic Council.
If if these 4 dragons' death was important enough in their opinion to call the Metallic Council, then they must have some way to connect with them. There's gotta be something in here. I'll just start looking around. I don't know what I'm looking for some object for scrying, or some kind of like runes or symbols somewhere, or a business card that says kiss here and we'll come.
1-800 metallic.
Just saying, I have
When
a
in
general,
need, metallic indeed.
While she does that,
I have a general idea of what could be though.
Yeah.
I'm doing more gentle repose here.
Okay, sure.
To preserve Ramalis first of all, but then whatever remains of the other bodies.
Okay.
It's too late at this point.
Yeah.
It would gentle repose 10 days, so that would have stretched into the second week, which means that Ramalis is starting to lose
it. Yeah.
her whatever you want to call it, life force again. But if we're only a number of days into that process, I could gentle repose here again to at least stop that, so that a resurrection could have potentially occurred.
I would allow that.
Yeah.
I would allow all of that.
That's kind of what I'm going for.
Can you make a medicine check as you look at these bodies?
Sure.
How are you investigating the bodies? Because how they've been placed on top of each other here is not conductive of investigating or doing anything really.
Sure. I mean, I'm trying to move dragon limbs out of the way, trying to separate one from the next, trying to figure out whose arm this belongs to, putting at least Ramalis into a whole enough form, and try to worry about the rest later, but if anything could ever be done with them, but focusing on Ramalis.
Okay, absolutely.
I did get it 24.
24? Okay. The larger dragon here is the most damaged. The one that you can tell was probably Corden. He's missing both of his wings. Yeah, the one claw that you've recovered, as well as his tail. There's deep gouges throughout his chest where scales have been ripped off of him, and both of his eyes have been slashed with some sort of weapon. The other 3 are damaged, but not in this extent. You get the idea maybe they weren't as proficient fighters.
Yep.
But within a couple of minutes, I'll say, and Ramsey helps you out too, to move some of the heavier limbs until all 4 dragons are just kind of neatly side by side.
Sure. You want to do your thing. Sola's going to do one last thing. She's going to try a divine intervention.
Okay.
Just because I haven't used it in a while. And it's been a number of days.
It has.
I am...
Crazy.
And these never work.
Surely not.
I'm just going to take a drink now.
I just need a good long drink here.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Can you imagine?
Trying to
Knock on wood.
resurrect in some way Ramalis is what Sola is praying to Lyther Tida for.
Okay.
It needs to be under, right?
Under
12.
11.
under 11. 31.
Wow. If only you were level 31.
Shit,
I was
know,
close.
So
It's
close.
so close.
Almost halfway.
All right. Eon. What were you checking again? Sorry. Just looking for things scrying of contact.
Anything that might
Okay.
communicate with something else. I rolled a 26.
26 is pretty good. In this room, there's much more half-created inventions.
Ooh.
And things that are attached to draconic scales, little accessories and that kind of thing. You're not entirely sure what they would be up to, but You don't see any specific balls of scrying or ruins. And with dragons of this level, you would maybe get the understanding that spellcasting is within their range of capabilities.
So maybe they would have just.
Yeah.
I feel like if there was any physical objects, the trio would have made sure they were destroyed.
I don't think they cared about anything in here, to be honest.
No, I think they only came here to kill.
I think they came here to consume.
To send a message, really.
I think it made them more powerful.
Yes, they took their hearts for a reason. You're right.
I'm sorry, Zola.
Pardon?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I'm not powerful enough to save them. Question.
Mm-hmm.
If we're finished with you for the moment. Sending. Send a short message to a creature you have met or a creature described to you by someone who has met it.
Yeah. I say that's like a name and a description.
Yeah, so maybe a general title of the Metallic Council or whatever it was isn't quite enough. Okay.
But maybe it is worth sending a message back to Waterdeep, probably.
Absolutely. I think we also need to tell them that there was a mole in our meeting because these guys knew that, like the Meteor Knight they knew we were coming here and they got here first.
How do you know that they knew we were coming? Maybe they were just headed here.
Well, they were talking about us.
Yeah, they were talking
Zola,
about it.
They very conveniently were
mentioned
here
us several
when we were
times.
in our council meeting.
and how inconvenient we are.
Oh, I missed that.
I'm not meditating, I promise.
You were investigating.
Specifically, they mentioned someone named Arissa
I caught that.
who failed killing you guys and was one of Nor's vice admins. Freezy personality. You guys remember any Freezy mages you fought recently?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the one that took the mask.
It was.
Yes.
Right.
That was the one that took the mask. And the events of this you get kind of occurred a while ago, 2 weeks ago, kind of in that frame. Yeah.
Okay, before we send a message, I'm going to do a commune. I'm doing a lot of spellcasting here. I'm sorry, everybody, for doing all of the stuff. So, wish I may, wish I might have the divination I wish tonight. Was the mole... no. Damon. I couldn't remember his name, yes. Rhaenyra's uncle Damon. That's, I think, our suspicion.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Is there a way to contact the Metallic Enclave? What was it called?
Metallic Council.
Metallic Council.
Yes.
The Metallic Council here. In this
Is there a way?
vicinity.
Is there a way?
Uncertain.
Oh, no. Uncertain?
Yes, there
no?
is a
But
way.
is there a way? Yes. Okay. that was a bonus question. Or maybe I could say that was question number 3. I didn't have a question number 3, so
There's a way to
How are
contact
you?
everything.
of course.
Well then.
Okay. Sending time. Does anyone want to count me in?
I don't have enough fingers for that.
I don't think anyone does.
Before I start, I'm going to send to Vajra. It hasn't started yet.
It hasn't started yet.
As you're going to cast sending, something interrupts you. A shaking in the ground. Above you,
Oh,
the
dear.
dull, echoed sound of large footsteps coming down the hallway, getting louder
Is there any way to hide?
and louder. Yeah, there's benches and all kinds of different. I should say, because of the destruction in this room, there's rubble and broken cabinets like everywhere. You could hide or try to hide if you wanted to.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Sola's done everything she can for the dragons for now, so yeah. Everybody quickly get behind something.
Oh gosh.
Maybe we can
Yeah.
get in a surprise round.
Okay, stealth check, guys.
Ah.
Stealth check, sorry?
Yeah.
Are we does Pass Without Trace last this long?
I believe. Let me just double
I think it's an
check.
hour, but time is a soup.
Sure is.
You tell them.
I rolled like garbage.
Concentration up to 1 hour.
And so, would you rule that it's still up or no? It's up to you.
Realistic.
This is the final time it'll count.
Okay.
Everyone gets one more. This, I'll say it. It basically counts for this, and then we'll count out.
Sure.
Rhaenyra.
36 then.
Okay. Eon.
27.
27.
Also 27.
Nice.
Elias.
The plus 10 is nice.
I need to use an inspiration.
Using all your expos on stealthing.
This is just bad. It's like the lowest I can get is a 7 now. Okay. 15.
Okay. 27, 27,
15.
15.
They got 36.
Okay. The footsteps get louder and louder until you see a long, thin head poking out of the doorway. These white bearded whiskers that curl down into spirals. This draconic head that is larger than you've ever seen. And just a furrowed, very angry brow. The dragon looks at the pile. Its golden scales just almost glowing red with anger. So this is what has befallen my protégés. This is what happens to helpers.
Hearing those words, Sola is going to come out with her hands up. Hi, hello, hi, hello. We're here to help. We're here to help. We did not cause this.
You don't shock him at all.
Okay.
He knew you were there. And he's just not paying any attention to you.
I'm so sorry about what happened. We weren't fast enough. But we do know who did this. And we are here to help. Hi, hey, hello. I'm Sola Light Touched. And you?
How close are you?
Probably uncomfortably so.
Cool.
feel like any distance is uncomfortably close right now.
I'm gonna give you a moment. You look up at this dragon. The age of its years in these long golden curls of hair flowing from its head. And you see a rage like you have never felt before. And a feeling that if you don't get the fuck away right now, there's a chance you're getting batted. What do you do?
Sola will misty step backwards 30 feet, straight back to like the far wall.
Smart. As his tail just... This thing is large enough in this room, you can see it's just like stretching out far, far behind him. And all of you.
You might as well come out, guys. He knows we're here. These are my friends.
I stay where I am under a chair.
The chair goes, and every other piece of furniture beside you go fucking flying out of the air as a single wing stretches out and just creates this blast of air that leaves you alone on the floor. Nothing around you.
All right, listen. What happened here was a pure act of violence. And she's like staring at the bones and not at the dragon, actually. Of pure violence and evil beyond what we've encountered. And we've encountered a lot. We know who did this. And we know what it takes to do this. And she specifically looks at like the wings that are ripped off. Someone I know told these three people, or these three beings, that we were coming to ask for their assistance. Someone who I don't hold very highly, and someone who has no respect or thought for anyone else but themselves. Believe me, I will work to bring that person down. But these three people that did this, how is this even possible? 4 golden dragons, their wings, their claws ripped off, their hearts taken out, and the 3 beings that did this still walk and breathe just fine. I know you're angry. Believe me, I am too. Because the person who leaked it, I put the safety of these people in this room first, which is why I didn't stop him. Maybe that was my mistake.
As you're talking, a spell emanates from this golden dragon. Can I get everyone to make a charisma saving throw?
Oh my.
Yeah, I like this
You
one now.
do get the feeling it is not a spell that's going to hurt you, if that helps.
Don't like it.
Okay. Okay.
Where you're at?
It was a 13. I was contemplating ducking or not.
Yeah,
But then
fair
you
enough.
said what you said.
I did. I did see what I said. Okay, 13.
30, 20.
Okay,
21.
okay.
6.
Everyone fails.
Yeah, fair enough.
Zone of truth goes off while you're speaking. So all of that was true.
Yeah.
So I'll let that go through. That's why I didn't go the route of stalking you there. But you would just listen while casting the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
You smell like a hunter. You have dragon blood in you.
Just like touching my ears, my dragon ears.
All of you do, in fact.
killed dragons.
Who were evil?
Who are evil?
Evil dragons only. Who were hurting people who didn't deserve to be hurt. We didn't come here to do that to Vraxadil, Ramalis, Corden, and Zacharias.
I pull my cloak over my dragon scale mail just a little bit.
Well, I'm draconic, half.
Yeah.
So.
Solo,
Mm-hmm.
can you make a persuasion check?
Sure. Not good at that.
In fact, everyone who is contributing to kind of pleading your case,
Calming him down.
go
I
ahead,
guess.
make a persuasion check here.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Ducking.
Hey, I'm ducking too.
I don't think I
Like 2 nat ones, man.
Always
You could
duck time.
help somebody else.
Oh, my poor ducks.
also have a duck.
Give me the ducks. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Guys,
so
I'm
bad.
sorry.
Yes.
I can't do charisma.
I'm just rolling
No,
bad.
but good.
Okay,
I rolled better, but it's still like an 11.
Rainier. Okay, 11. Eon.
I didn't roll.
Okay, you're fine.
18 plus 2 for a dirty 20.
5. Makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
We are willingly standing here in this spell that we all recognize to be a zone of truth. Because we are not afraid to tell you the truth. I know we've already rolled our charisma checks.
I'm trying again.
But I'm wondering. But our souls are true. We're here because we're on the good side, and your friends, I assume they're more than friends, but they didn't deserve this, and we are directly opposed to the people who did it. I think that, in spite of your anger, we are on the same side.
He looks, his gaze stopping on Elias and Eon in particular. And then his shoulders kind of cave in. As he just stares down at the bodies and
all is not lost. This one, and Sola will point to Ramalis. It's a long story. I had a vision where I was able to come here 2 weeks ago, and I have cast Gentle Repose on Ramalis, and we've just arrived and I've done it again.
his nose
She is not lost.
kind of like leans in close to her body, and he kind of sniffs it, I guess, and his eyes widen a fraction of a second before he goes, and there's still time, before he gently grabs her body in his small hands, small arms attached. He looks like he wants to say something, but the gravity of this is just kind of hitting him, and he takes her body and just turns away.
Can you tell us your name?
You may call me Protantha.
That's a sweet name. Pro-Tan-Thor.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Pro-Tan.
Are you of the Metallic Council?
He doesn't answer and continues walking.
With our general knowledge of dragons.
Yeah? Let's roll a history
What
check.
kind of dragon this guy is?
Ancient gold, maybe? That's what I'm getting.
18. And then, would we get a plus 2?
Plus 2, yeah.
30, 20.
Dirty 20.
Okay, yeah.
Yay.
That unlocks a whole new section of information.
Yay.
Wow.
Yay, general knowledge. I can't remember why we know so much now.
I wonder what happened.
Yeah.
Yes, Pro-Tan-Thor is an ancient gold dragon and a member of the Metallic Council. And as he stated, the originator of the Golden Circle.
And he's turning away.
Yeah, actually with that, I'd say he like grabs Remalis and like is holding her underneath his body with his 2 front claws as he's walking around. The top half of him almost levitating in the air, almost like it doesn't seem like it should be as stable as it is. The balance, the weight doesn't quite check out, but there's like this ethereal kind of floatiness with this dragon, as he also places the other 3 on his back.
Before you go, you should probably take this as well. And Elias will pull the claw out of the bag of holding.
It should be noted we were only carrying that because we didn't want all the pieces to...
Yes,
we found this way further down.
This wasn't us. We were hoping that we could reunite it with...
Enough.
Okay,
Just give it.
There it is.
He takes the claw and puts it away. Before sullenly making his way back, I'll say up the mountain. No amount of calling out to him or trying to get his attention or talk to him makes any effect, as you get the idea that he is restraining himself at the moment. As much as he does believe you hear he wants to destroy something, and he doesn't want to be around you guys when he does that, so he's leaving.
Well, that's sweet, I guess.
I think that's about as nice as an angry ancient gold dragon could ever be.
If I was in his position, this mountain would be not a mountain anymore, so...
You're lucky he wasn't a copper dragon. But Sins, as you kind of climb back out of the Golden Circle, checking on the things you want to check on, of course. If there's anything else remaining.
I would try to do that sending.
Of course.
Okay. Do you want to count now? Am I doing?
Ready.
Hi, hey, hello. Thank you. Vajra. Sola here.
Love the eyes.
So unnecessary.
Damon works against us. He told Meteor Knight about Golden Council. They're dead. There is only one word.
Contraction.
Contraction is one word.
Yeah. Don't cheat me on my own spell.
That's not how language Which works.
Hi, hey,
Anyways,
hello
carry
is
on,
one
carry
word,
on.
so.
The word doc disagrees.
Look, if you want to talk about the linguistics of why hi, hey, hello is one word, there isn't. We can go there. But for now,
The wrong person if you are.
Okay, let the man send.
Yep. I have 8. We must contact Metallic Council. Got a number? Is that all?
yes.
Didn't get to add my and.
Rough.
Vashra was pleasantly surprised.
A response comes back very quickly. I'd say probably quicker than you've ever gotten a response back from Vajra. As she goes, that is unfortunate news. Hopefully, we can get the Metallic Council on our side. I will reach out to their blessed and arrange a meeting.
Boy, she's really good at getting exactly 25 words. I have to think about it a lot. Well, we've done all we can. I guess we can't contact the Metallic Council now. They're maybe not going to be in the mood for a parley.
Likely not. Is there another one of those pedestals with the blue crystals in here for this dragon?
Yeah.
Zacharias?
Yeah.
Zacharias?
Zacharias.
Yes.
Zacharias?
Is that? Yeah, it's a funny one. It's a funny name. There is. It takes you probably about 10 minutes to find it
Oh wow.
through all the sorted trash and destruction, and honestly, just mostly rubble. As this room was originally way smaller than it is currently, and that hasn't been nicely rounded out like the previous rooms. It's more of this giant slash in the wall has caved in about half of this part of the ceiling.
That's tough.
Which is less good.
Yeah.
But in about 10 minutes, you do find a blue crystal. However, it has been kind of crunched as some rubble has destroyed it.
Can I try to cast mending? on this?
Yes, yes,
See
you
if-
may.
Yeah. Hypothetically, I mean, the magic itself should hopefully still be there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say, can we make I'm going to say, the mending part goes off without hitch. Can I get an Arcana check? Just to ensure you kind of...
Sola can also mend. Can I help in some way?
Yes, absolutely. I'll
I'll
say if you want to
offer
give
my
advantage.
help. I will do that.
Absolutely. For your Arcana. Let's do that.
I'm so sorry. One of them was a nat 1.
Oof!
The other one was a 4. So it's still a dirty 20. But
Which,
How?
yeah, that was...
You have plus
Okie dokie.
16.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Oh my god!
Very mending.
Wizards are pretty cool,
I'm
guys.
good at built. You're built for investigation. I'm built for this.
I guess it's,
I
You
guess. Yeah.
Awesome. With a 20, I'm going to say yes.
Some people like to show.
It does work. Like you can get it back and up and running. You can tell that these crystals are kind of like self-charging by being around and absorbing draconic energy.
Very resourceful.
However, you don't know where the button would be for this crystal. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I was thinking it'd be nice if before we left, we have like a Well, we've gotten to know most of these dragons here, and well, it'd be nice to pay respects, I suppose, but I don't know how to start this one.
So while
Eon,
they're all...
do you have?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Ian, you're super tinkery. Do you see
Yeah.
any buttons around?
I could just put it back
It's
together.
on a workbench.
It's on a workbench?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I'm certain.
Just like a remote, or like it's from a long
Like
distance.
maybe under.
Broken already?
Oh, like hidden.
I was like, yeah, that's where I would put my secret
Yeah.
button.
If I were an adult gold dragon, where would I put a button to my little message about myself?
Make an insight check.
The buttons seemed to be like for guests or something. Like it seemed like they wanted people to press the button, not like a
Yeah.
secret message to be hidden under a bench.
But it could absolutely be on a workbench.
But
That totally
you-
tracks.
Yeah, but if people meet it, and then you have to find it. You know, it's just like.
There's
You
fun
make
to
it like an
it.
interactive
There
experience.
would be 16 steps. Each one reveals the next one. So that's how we would do this. Can I look for a button, please?
Make one perception check.
Okay. I did already look around. 16.
Just enough.
Nice.
You find
Alright.
attached to kind of the main workbench that's
Yeah!
it's been welded on the bottom so that it's like a super desk. It's a very long
Super desk.
a mega
Mega
desk,
desk.
if you will.
Yeah.
So, and on that one, you can see there is like a hole that is crystal shaped in the center of the desk, and underneath, beside the hole, there is a button, and you can tell that there's a little metallic archway leading up to that hole. Because the bench is on its side, the image also is on his side, which is kind of funny. In this one, you guys see a half elf or like a drow, maybe like a combination of both of them. That's wearing kind of this very like nice kind of cardigan over these just like very simple black cotton clothing. Hello. I know it's hello. Where? If you're seeing this, you shouldn't be. So wait for us or whatever. And you see he kind of like reaches over, and you see there's like a beaker in front of him, and he grabs like one of these kind of like wide base glasses and pours it into it before ending the message.
Nice.
feel kind of sad.
Yeah, these all seemed like good people, not just dragons.
So while they're all doing like all of this,
So much of this.
yeah, like I'm not. yeah.
Whatever the
A lot of button searching.
How very
The 16 steps to find the button. Like she's not listening or paying attention. She's slowly just kind of like walking back to like where, but like slowly, so she's not like completely separated from them.
Yeah.
But enough so that they can't hear her. So she takes out the sword and just kind of like it's like faintly glowing.
Yeah.
And like when she's a safe distance, I guess, from their prying ears, but they're busy, so I don't imagine they're listening too much anyways. They're button searching. She goes, looks around. I guess she's maybe like in one of the dark hallways because all the lights are broken. So she's kind of like the glow of the sword is the only
Yeah.
kind of source of light.
Yeah.
She goes, "Are you listening?" "Of course you are. Because why did you run away like that instead of confronting me like you should have? You walked away once from me, and this happened because of it. And this is my fault, because I let you walk away. Trust me, wherever you are now, hiding from me, that's the last time you'll walk away from me." And she puts the sword back. And she hears the the recording that you guys are watching.
Hi.
Yeah. And she sees them kind
Hello?
of like,
Hi.
yeah, like
Hi.
watching it and kind of being like, oh, that's sad or that's cute.
Yeah.
Didn't want to lose them, and that's why I didn't. Different decision will be made next time. She does walk back, but she doesn't say anything to anybody.
You gotta hold it and just like see if you let it slip a little bit, it just cuts out. You gotta hold it just
literally
a little
hold
bit.
it for the whole
Yeah.
message?
Yeah, literally. It's like one of those cords that like it has to be in the right direction.
That's exactly
Like it's like sideways.
what it
It's
is.
like, oh, I think we got it. Oh, damn it.
They should have just built this better.
There was like electrical tape there, but you can see it's been like cut to shreds from all the damage and like little notes saying "Do not move" and "Do not unplug."
Man.
Amazing.
She just stands there and just watches them.
Yeah. As you all kind of take in this sobering scene of this massacre, and as you decide on your next steps, that's where we're going to stop for tonight. So, thanks so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your night, and hi, hey, hello.
Hi, hello, one word. Yay.
Onward. Cool. That was a great episode. Man, that was fun.
I didn't think that was gonna go the way that it did. Like, I don't know what I thought we were gonna find. But I was like,
I was expecting 4 dead bodies.
yeah, but
They're gonna
that
be captured.
that's pretty fucked. Like, that's
Your whole like dream sequence, it literally felt like watching a cutscene.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I feel like watching a
very
cutscene, and then it's like
hope
you go
so.
from like the great
Yeah.
graphics back into like the kind of shitty like. We're not playing the game again. Shit.
That's so funny.
Their little projection things are actually heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
That was a really
well
good
done.
touch.
So well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. It's like actually making them feel like characters.
Yeah,
Like real people that died.
The-
Unlike all the other dragons we've killed that weren't real people.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, fuck them.
yeah.
Yeah, those ones did have
There's nothing to be
personalities.
said about
yeah.
it.
yeah.
These
There's
are
evil.
real people.
Surely.
Yeah, it's you get the idea, like, especially going through it, is like all of these holograms would probably play automatically
Right.
as someone entered the room when they weren't supposed to. But you can tell whatever was destroyed at the final layer probably turned off everything.
Like the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's I was gonna say, like, I didn't get to mention it, but there's like a not like a generator, but like kind of like a metal kind of silo, and you can see like a bunch of different, like, I'll say, like, parts going out of it. So
Okay, I gotta draw a map. So the Tempest is Noor part of the Tempest?
yes.
Noor is part
The
of
Meteor
the
Knight
Tempest.
is like the big dog.
Yeah,
But is
he
he
seems
part of
to
the
be-
Tempest, or is he something
He's like the
different?
leader.
He seems to be
Yeah,
the
it's
leader.
Like
Well, I'm just not sure.
Noor.
Is he actually part of it, or is he like
I would
some
say
other
yes.
superimposed thing?
well,
No. I
think he's
what
like
he said at the beginning of that was, "Come Tempest,
Yeah.
our enemies."
Yeah, he called
Yeah.
to the Tempest. So it's
Troto
almost like the
and Noor.
Tempest is.
No, but like when we visited the librarian, that was my question. Was like, who are the
Yeah.
Tempest? And they
Like
named
the
those
top
3
three.
people.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
it's
So
just-
he's referring to the group.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
When he
the
says
3
"Come
of them.
Tempest," so the
Yeah.
Tempest is a group.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
With
just the
him.
3 of them. Nor is also.
So these are the main 3.
A necromancer.
Probably more.
Well,
so-
Nor is connected to Beelzebub, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know how to spell that. Beelzebub.
I do everything phonetically.
Nor
Good.
now has. Oh, who's got what color masks?
They have. Oh, I have that. All the Tempest have 3 of the colors. They have like black.
Nor has blue. Trodo has green. Meteor Knight has red.
Yeah.
So then what is white and what's the other one?
What did
Black.
Isha find the white one?
Yes.
I thought you said the Trodo had the black one.
Yeah, because the witch took the
Trodo
blue
has the
mask.
green one.
Oh, the green one's right.
The black mask is located in
Black
the
and
Snake
white.
Woods.
Yes,
Was the last
that's what
thing
Vajra
Vajra
told me.
spoke to you.
Yeah.
Right.
So the Tempest. So this is the Tempest. This
Blue,
is the
green, and red are
Tempest.
with the Tempest. Black and white masks are still missing.
And the Tempest are just working with Damon, right?
He works like for them. Like whatever like the difference is in like the gap year that I didn't see him, like and he's different now, it's because of them. Like they did something to him
But
to make him more magical.
do we know what that relationship between them
I
is?
I
Like,
just know that there's like some connection between.
Yeah.
But
If
don't
for
we know
whatever
like
reason
if
they're
someone's in
working together.
charge of someone else or something? We don't know who's got.
I know that
wears
they
the
gave
pants.
him
Yeah, we don't know who
maybe
it is.
powers
Who
and
wears the pants.
stuff. But
Well,
yeah.
he did say that Trodo had to return back
To
to the
Che.
dynasty
Yeah, I wrote
Right.
that
to
down.
speak to the
Yeah.
king
Yeah.
for
It
his
does make
next
it
mission.
Yeah.
So there
king
is,
higher up.
you would understand, like there's some sort of hierarchy there.
It kind of sounds like the report to Damon, right? Like that was the vibe I've gotten over time.
My
But
vibe
You
is
could assume that.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
Meteor
a
Knight is
little
like, well, he was there like torturing
He's-
them when they weren't
He's-
listening. Yeah.
He wears the pants,
Enforcer
really.
Yeah.
In that group, anyway.
Yeah.
and then Saren.
She's just a puppet.
She's
Yeah.
just like
A child.
A victim.
What's worse? What's worse than a war criminal? A child war criminal.
She.
Oh, that's real bad. Brandon
Okay.
Brandon Rogers, fuck you.
Yeah, that's a deep hole.
And now Arissa is a mage who kind of works for the Meteor Knight.
Yeah,
presumably.
she's
That's
like
what
a,
it looks
a
like,
henchman,
yeah.
basically, but
Yeah, I think
Very
that's specifically
strong,
for
obviously.
Nor.
yeah,
One of Nor's people.
yeah, because
Was
he's
it
gonna
from
like
Nor?
punish her
Yeah.
for not killing us.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, that was Nora that said that. Not the
Yeah,
Meteor
yeah,
Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, Meteor Knight was like, she failed. That's
Yeah.
on you.
yeah,
Nor."
yeah,
And
yeah.
he was just like, I'll punish her. Just give me some time to think about it. Essentially stalling. Yes, don't make it so bad.
I'm just gonna think of the thing that's really, really bad.
Real
Give me-
evil.
First I gotta
Give
think
me a
of
sec.
it.
Yeah.
And then the Meteor Knight is also somehow connected to Sola.
Yeah.
We only
to
kind of sort
the-
of understand that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Kind
kind
of
of
like a
some
dichotomy.
inkling of like how Nor is related to Beelzebub.
Yeah, because
Meteor Knight is related to Fran.
Lather Tida's dark half is
Yeah.
called, the name escapes me just now.
Farentide.
Farentide, thanks. So that's his god.
Farentide versus Aether
Tida.
Tida. This is a mess. But
This is
Better
I'm
than
connecting
we've
the
had
dots.
so far. Yeah,
As it should be.
This is like red string on the wall.
exactly.
Right now.
so we found blue, green, red, white. We found the black.
We have not found the black. That's the one.
No.
That's the one in the forest that Vajra told me about.
That's yeah. They just got inklings that is located there.
But why would they? Oh,
It's probably in the possession of someone in there or
that's for
something.
Damon.
By maybe.
That's for Damon.
I mean, it would be fitting.
When they get that, that's for Damon.
Probably.
yeah. I do
I
like the
sometimes
kind of
feel like
color
Josie doesn't make
coordinating.
things that obvious though, but
No.